Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the great state of Missouri, more specifically Branson, Missouri, and even more specifically than that, we are out here in front of Ripley's Believe It or Not. Now, through my travels to all the great tourist areas of the United States, I always loved to check out the different Ripleys. In fact, I have visited every Ripley's in the United States and Canada, and when I'm in town, I do like to check in because they do a lot of remodels, they do renovations, they switch out artifacts, they change exhibits. So I always like to kind of keep abreast of what's going on at the different Ripley's, believe it or not. And when I got here in Branson, I was looking at some brochures. It's a good way to get started in a town. You look at the brochures, see what's new, and I saw they were advertising that their Ripley's, believe it or not, was newly remodeled. So very excited to check in with Ripley's in Branson here and see what is new, see what they've changed, and see what maybe they've kept the same. So please, follow me. Now, right off the bat, I can see they have made some drastic changes with the paint scheme. They used to have a much different set color palette here. I think I had a more yellowish color palette. They still have the same theming here. The building's always been cracked in half. They like to do interesting buildings. Have several of the buildings have had earthquake themes. The Gatlinburg Ripley's used to have an earthquake theme, and you can see just how the building split there. I know in Orlando they have a sinkhole theme because it is in Florida. Also, you can see they have up their Christmas decorations, the different Christmas trees here. It looks like their auto part Incredible Hulk has put on his Santa's hat for the season. Now, these other various sculptures here. This scrap metal gorilla here. Looks like we got a statue of Mr. Robert Wadlow back over here to the side. Again, you can see the crack in the building. You can actually look into the building through the crack there, which is pretty interesting. The oil drum elephant here, made from old oil drums. This is the All-American Hondime. This Hondaim, All-American Hondaim. This Honda Civic is covered with 25,172 dimes and a few pennies as well. Took 298 hours to glue them all to the car, and then the car was dubbed the Hondaim. You can see all those dimes there embedded into the car. Also, I love this giant gorilla head here, the giant tire gorilla. And then what's this? This is El Carpart werewolf back here. All the different bolts and parts from the car just to form one giant terrifying werewolf. There's this giant car parts robot. It actually has red and green eyes, so I don't know if he changed his eyes for Christmas. See the body of Robert Earl Hughes, one of the largest men that ever lived. Look at me! I'm Robert Earl Hughes. He was actually drafted into the Army despite his immense size. Fun fact.
Robert Ripley has spent his life searching for the odd and unusual. His criminals took him to the most amazing places on earth.
And it is getting cold out here. Let's head inside the nice warmth of Ripley's. In the lobby here, we have a car parts Iron Man. And then it's a dragon hanging above our heads. Oh, you see how the inside here they carry out the earthquake theme. They have the cracks in the roof caving in. can see the second floor exposed there with Wang the Unicorn Man hanging off the edge. So we head in here. You can see continuing the earthquake effect. You see the earthquake has cracked open this display case here with the children's snow sled inside. Oh, but we can see a peek if we look back in there. Spoiler, there's one of their crown jewel exhibit back there, the thing that Branson Ripley is most known for. But I won't spoil it. We'll get there eventually. An exhibit on Robert Ripley the man, and they don't always have this in the Ripley's museums. I love to see them kind of talk about Robert Ripley and who he was. This bust here is actually created by a blind artist who sculpted Robert Ripley's head from just the touch of it, which is of course very, very amazing. Now we have some personal items from Robert Ripley in here. Here's Robert Ripley's abacus, kind of in an old school Asian calculator. And then Robert Ripley's personal Bible. See, it's monogrammed there with his name, the Robert L. Ripley there. There are some Wayne Harbor letters, and Wayne Harbor's kind of a notorious character in the Robert Ripley extended universe. He would basically fact check everything. He would write letters constantly to Robert Ripley. Robert Ripley would put out his comics that gave strange, unusual fact, and Wayne Harbor would dispute these facts and send mountains and mountains of letters trying to discredit Robert Ripley. But they said that Robert Ripley never technically lost an argument to Wayne Harbor. Sometimes he resorted to maybe some loopholes and some other chicanery, but everything was technically correct. Now this is really cool. Here is Robert Ripley in his baseball uniform. There's an authentic baseball uniform there. He formed a baseball team called the Believe It or Not, and he actually was a professional baseball player early in his career. He played for the New York Giants. But later in his career, when he was famous for his cartoons, he would form a celebrity baseball team called the Believe It or Nots. And would play in Madison Square Garden versus the 9 old men who were 9 of the core original animators from Disney. And Robert Ripley, he came with an ace up his sleeve as he actually enlisted Babe Ruth to play on his team with him. So yeah, he was playing for keeps, bringing along the Babe.
Don't act like you don't see me. I'm stuck here on this wall.
So the wall of talking Ripley's characters.
People you ever see.
The long-necked woman there.
Oh, you think your story is more interesting.
But my head is amazing in a way too. You may have noticed the unique feature growing from it.
I was born without legs. I could do anything a normal person could do and
Johnny
more.
Eck there.
In my sideshow, I was well known for my one-arm handstands. Some people still ask me, do I wish I had legs? But why would I? Then I'd have to press my pants.
I actually notice here we have a very interesting bench here. It's actually a rocking bench. You can see it's on the chain there. Interesting musical instruments here. There's a frying pan banjo and a violin made out of a cigar box. This is a Chinese geihu. You can see it's padded there with snakeskin. Some sculptures in here. This is a toothpick corn crib and a toothpick farmhouse. Down here, some more ghoulish items. The AOA human skin mask and a Dayak trophy skull. You can see some different weapons in here. These miniature tiny pistols. I don't think that one is operational, but some very small pistols that actually work. And these are called caltrops. They're like little spikes that you throw on the ground to trick people into stepping on them. And look at that little miniature revolver that doubles as a knuckle duster or brass knuckle, so you can shoot someone or punch them. Really, the choice is up to you. Of course, none of these weapons are going to help you if you have to face off against a vampire. So we have this vampire killing kit for all your vampire killing needs. It does have a revolver. I guess it has some silver bullets, because that's the only thing that's going to work as far as a gun. Then a stake to jam through their heart. A little bit of holy water. Some other things that will make sure that you take out the vampire. These are called hoodwinks here. They're goggles that you can actually close or open, and then use them in Oddfellow rituals to either blind someone or open their eyes. Now this here says Jesse James' mysterious mail pouch. It says the mailbag was hidden in the walls of a cabin near Kimberling City, Missouri, where it wasn't discovered until 1950s. And 70 years later. It says they don't know what the significance was to Jesse James. I'm wondering what was inside. It doesn't really say if anything was inside it or not. There's an elephant saddle, because that would go on the back of an elephant you wanted to ride. And say mop dog, sculpture of a dog created entirely out of mops. So we step into the optical illusion room here. See the trippy things here on the wall. Looks like a skull here when you stand back, and then, but if you look closely, there's actually two children right there. There's also a 3D stereogram. We call these magic eyes when I was a kid. Let's see if does that work? Is anyone able to pause the screen and see if you can get the magic eye to work? I mean, it should work, right? Oh, I got it to work. I just got it to work. I haven't seen one of these in forever. I was able to just see it. The dolphins. Okay, it's dolphins. So if anyone else sees the dolphins, leave a comment in the comment section. I'm curious if it works on the video screen. Just grab the jewel. Look into this face here. Oh, I see the jewel right there. All I gotta do is grab it. Oh, jeez. I knew that was coming. I knew the compressed air was coming, but it still made me nervous. Jeez. Hey, Zoltar. Want $1? No, Zoltar's always down to get paid.
Zoltar the Gypsy at your service. Today is your lucky day, my friend, for I have a fortune especially for you.
Especially for me?
Listen closely.
I will.
Sometimes you can tell a wise person not only by what he says, but also by what he doesn't say.
That's true.
Remember, it is much better to say little than to say too much and regret it later.
That's
Give Zoltar
true.
your treasure.
Done that.
I have much wisdom to share with you.
Artwork here on the wall. There's Lauryn Hill, made out of unraveled cassette tapes. This is Van Gogh, made out of painted butterflies. We have some more artwork like we saw outside. There is some scrap metal wildlife, it calls it. See the gorilla there covered in nails. This giraffe here has got nails instead of hair. And it's the lion there made of shredded tires. And oh, that's a big chunk of petrified wood. I know the petrified wood can be pretty valuable, and that's one of the biggest pieces I've ever seen. It's a pretty fun photo op here. You can be either a Bigfoot, an alien, or one of the cows that the aliens are abducting. I'm not ready to move to space. This whole thing seems pretty alien to me. I hope something doesn't fall on my head and squash me. I'm just digging these up as I'm going along. I didn't really put a lot of work, didn't really put a lot of thought into what I was going to say. The junk art crow there made out of a shovel. For some reason he's on top of a barrel of swamp water, but I think the 3 X's mean that it's actually moonshine. This massive, terrifying T-Rex here, made out of Pop-Tart wrappers, which is pretty amazing. Also, there's a moose of some sort up there, a moose head. Looks like his antlers are actually skis. Now here's something special that's exclusive to this Ripley's, and that is the world's largest roll of toilet paper. See the Charmin bear there hugging the roll. It says this contains over 1 million feet of toilet paper. It was created by the Charmin company as a publicity stunt. But sticking with the toilet paper theme, you have these toilet paper wedding dresses. 3 completely unique toilet paper wedding dresses. Yeah, if you look down here, these are normal rolls of Charmin. So you can see how much larger the world's largest toilet paper roll is compared to these teeny tiny rolls. You have a nail bison here. A lot of animals here made of nails, I've noticed. But look at this. These are pretty amazing. These African fantasy coffins. Some African countries, they actually like to be buried in these super fancy coffins here. Like this giant crab coffin. Can you imagine being buried in the crab? Also, I really like just like the turkey coffin. Like, I just imagine someone has such a profound love for turkey that they would want to be buried in a turkey coffin. But I don't know. I was gonna say that's a corn cob, but I think that might actually be like a plantain or a banana. Just someone who really loved plantains. In this room here, we have a pool table. It says we can set the ball on the table and gently nudge it. A ball there. Okay. So set it on the table and gently nudge it. Nudge. Oh, there you go. You can see it just rolling across the table with just that one little nudge. Oh, look at this. I actually got one of their balls in the hole. Over here, have some, also have a ball there. Let's set it down and look at that. It is rolling uphill somehow. Oh, did it stop? Does it need another nudge? No, it's going. All right, it needs a nudge. Let's give it just a teeny tiny nudge. Just a tiny nudge. Tiny nudge. And there we go. There it flies uphill. Oops. Don't trip over this giant meteorite here. Every time I see a meteorite, I think about Joe Dirt and his pet meteorite, which turned out to be a lump of airline poop. He thought it was his best friend. He made friends with the meteorite and ate food off of it, and then later found it to be a lump of airline waste. So we head up the stairs here. Look down on some of the exhibits we saw on the lower floor. The Pop-Tart T-Rex, the world's largest roll of toilet paper. And a quote from Robert Ripley: "I have traveled 201 countries, including hell, Norway, and the strangest thing I've seen was man." So wooden motorcycle. Can you imagine if metal was never invented and we had to make cars and motorcycles out of wood? What kind of room is this? Okay. Like strange effects occurring as I walk past these screens. Then we find ourselves in some sort of cave. I'm imagining somewhere in here we'll find a shrunken head. Here's a head. It's just not shrunken. It's normal sized. And here we go. The genuine shrunken head there. You can see the head being displayed in a rotating manner. course, shrunken heads taken by the Javaro tribe of Ecuador. The idea was that if you took your enemy's head and preserved it in this way, it would trap their soul for 1 year, and you could use these to help control and manipulate their family and friends. And I think after 1 year, the power was said to have been expired. So these actually eventually became the discarded shrunken heads have become like a big tourist souvenir to tourists to the area. Everyone wanted to have a shrunken head, to the point where a lot of fake shrunken heads were being made, and people were actually making shrunken heads in mass amounts because they wanted to fill the demand. I've actually even heard stories of people breaking into morgues and shrinking all the heads just so they could sell them to tourists. Interesting to have a shrunken head based economy. See a head shrinker here in the process of manufacturing a shrunken head. They'd make them like over a fire. You'd have to, of course, to shrink a head, you can't shrink a skull, so you gotta take the skull out. So then you take like the skin bag, you fill it full of hot coals, which kind of preserves and shrinks the skin. Then you got yourself a shrunken head. You can also make them out of apples. That's the more more sustainable way to make them. It's a Peruvian mochi skull. What do you guys think is creepier? Shrunken heads or this mochi skull here? Oh, here they are. This is the couple that tricks you. As you walk over here, you see a gentleman taking a photograph with his cell phone of his girlfriend here. So you stop, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll let you finish taking your picture. I'll wait here while you do this. And then you stand here and you wait and you wait and you wait, and you realize, oh, these are wax figures. They're never going to move. So I guess I can go ahead and walk through the photo. Oh, there, he actually took the photo, so I was wrong. Even though they're wax figures, they were still taking a photo. I really like this shirt though. It's a vampire killing kit shirt. That's pretty amazing that she's got. And what does the gentleman here have? Oh, it's a Bigfoot jamming out with a boombox. This here sends out a big, it's a trap vibe. I'm gonna walk out on this platform. See, there's a money sculpture, pterodactyl. There's a portrait of Jesus made of toast. Now, there we go. The ground drops out, terrifying us. And look at that. We are right above the crown jewel of Branson's Ripley's Believe It or Not. That is one of the world's largest twine balls, but we'll get there eventually. Now Ripley's actually has some of the most fun shooting galleries here, because in my experience, I travel to different Ripley's, they actually will take artifacts that they aren't using necessarily and put them in the shooting gallery so that they could still be enjoyed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to taking some shots here at the old Ripley's shooting gallery. Put our money in here. We have 25 shots in which to shoot, so we want to make them count. We want to make interesting things happen. Oh man, I'm wasting all my shots. I wanted to make this head pop out of this barrel. Let me see. There we go. It's about half my dollar doing that. Let's see if we can, what else we can do. We've got the two-headed calves here. There's two-headed calves in the shooting gallery, but you can't actually shoot them. Let's see, there's a head up there.
Get me out of here!
Oh, he says, get me out of here. Let's see this. Try to shoot this cannon. There we go, blasted me with some compressed air there. Only have 2 shots left, so hopefully these will count. Okay, out of shots. So hopefully we didn't miss out on anything too exciting, because yeah, I'm not that good at shooting galleries. As much as I play them, I still am pretty bad. Of course, I do have to shoot with one hand while looking through a camera viewfinder, so that could have something to do with it. And here is a magic hat fortune teller, I guess like the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter. Now, I'd asked my audience what house they thought I belonged to, because I'd never been officially designated to a Harry Potter house, and but people were saying that I was. The majority of people said I was a Hufflepuff. I don't really know what that means, but they said that I had Hufflepuff vibes. So we're gonna hit the Hufflepuff button there.
Have you ever wondered why the smart people seem to have all the questions, and the not so smart people seem to have all the answers?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You, my smart friend,
I'm smart?
must have lots of questions.
Am I smart or stupid? I lost track of there for a second. You want to pause your screen? You can read my fortune. I do appreciate how Ripley's actually extends their exhibits into the restrooms. See here in the men's room, they have a pipe collection. What's in the women's room? I guess I will never know. If you're a woman and you've been here, tell me what's in the women's room. Leave a comment in the comment section. Heading into this boat themed section here. Have this giant matchstick aircraft carrier in the center. This paper mache sculpture here is called Not on My Watch. You see a soldier picking up his fallen brethren and taking him to safety. It's like he's calling ahead to let them know that his friend needs help. Have a deep sea diving helmet here hanging from this chain. I guess we can put it on for a photo op. So it's hanging from this chain so that people don't try to take it home with them. The military helmets there, and a scrimshaw powder horn. I guess scrimshaw is like actually when you like write on bone, and then a pocket watch pierced by a bullet. So this pocket watch actually saved someone's life. Who had it on their person, a bullet would have gone into their body, but instead went into the pocket watch, saving their life. Now this here, a Navy line shooting gun. I guess you actually just shoot a rope that you can like shoot between ships to help like pass things from ship to ship. Now for this section, we can actually look down into the lobby. See that dragon there. And you can definitely see some of the earthquake theme, the different cracks in the wall, and then this big crack in the ceiling that like shows like their ducts exposed, their air conditioning ducts. It's pretty good commitment to the theme. And of course the human unicorn Wang looking over the lobby there has that horn growing out of the back of his head. It's another Ripley's character up ahead here. Oh, this is the double-eyed man. He had two pupils in each eyeball, as you can see there. As we continue this way, you can see the two-headed calf over the doorway there. And speaking of things with two heads, there's a two-headed green anaconda here. So this is actually a fiberglass mold. So this anaconda was born at the St. Louis Zoo. I've actually seen two-headed snakes before. There was a two-headed snake at a science museum in Jackson, Mississippi that I remember seeing. Siamese kitten there. Has two tails. Has like 4, 5, 6 paws, it looks like. You see a very interesting cow there. Full-grown cow, kind of a interesting shaped head. And here's the actual skull of the cow. You can see how it's different from a normal cow's skull. That's what they call 21st century taxidermy, this European wild boar head. Instead of fitting the taxidermy to a form, they just blow it up like a balloon. And of course, it wouldn't be a Ripley's without our dear friend, Robert Wadlow. All 8 foot 11 inches of him. Now, the different Wadlows at Ripley's are often dressed up differently, depending on what location they are in. I guess this is the Branson Wadlow. This is kind of the typical Branson gear, the button-up plaid shirt, the blue jeans there. Is this how people from Branson dress? Here's Robert Earl Hughes. We saw his headless body out in front of the building here where we could pose. See the different Ripley's characters here. These are all real people that have fascinating stories. The Cuban eye popper there, where his eyes could actually come out of his face and bulge out there. We already saw Wang, the human unicorn there with his horn. And this is one of the Pandong, not long-necked women, where they put the coil around their necks to extend their neck. And here's who they have officially dubbed the world's most unusual woman. I've heard her called the Vampire Woman. She is from Mexico, and she has transformed her body via tattoos and implants and piercing to become the Vampire Woman. So I heard that she works as a lawyer, which is very interesting. It'd be very interesting to come into a courtroom and see her representing the other side. And this is who they have dubbed as the world's most unusual man, the lizard man, Eric Sprague. He has over time transformed himself into a half man, half lizard, again using tattoos and body modification. It's really interesting, you know. We saw some of the born freaks, people who are born with deformations, and then Eric Sprague, the lizard man here, the Vampire Woman. We saw people who voluntarily transform themselves into very unusual characters. It's the crocodile tooth man here. He made himself dentures out of actual crocodile teeth, which is very creative. I would be afraid that I'd accidentally bite my tongue. Here is Thomas Wetters, the man with the longest nose in history. I remember back in my days of posting photos on Flickr. It was a photo of one of these busts that was my most viewed photo, and for the longest time I could never figure out why. And then I did. And then we have the lighthouse man here. He has a hole in his head, but he would place a candle and give guided tours by the light of his head candle. And once again, we come across Robert Ripley, the legendary Robert Ripley here. He actually is a penny smasher. He can smash a custom penny for us. You can get either the Gurning Man, a shrunken head, a two-headed calf, or this building that we are in. I like that. I like because it's unique to this location. So let's get the actual building put on a pressed penny. Oh, see the penny just dropped into place. I'm gonna hit the button here and let Mr. Ripley make us a pressed penny. See, turning it there as he crushes it with his very hand. And there, you can make it out pretty good. You can see that earthquake damaged building that we are currently in. All right, heading back downstairs here. Oh, it's like some sort of musical staircase. I guess as we go up and down stairs here, it plays different piano notes. Yes, this is the newest exhibit here. This is a miniature sculpture gallery. You see the different sculptures literally made on the heads of pins. See the Simpsons here. We have Homer strangling Bart, which apparently this is no longer going to be allowed on the show. They said they're going to discontinue the gag. It goes all the way back to the beginning of the show of Homer strangling Bart because it is no longer appropriate for cartoons to strangle each other. So let's look here through the microscope and see if we can see Homer strangling Bart. There we go. I don't know if you can see there. Let me zoom in a little bit. But yeah, on the very head of a pin, you can see Homer strangling Bart. Just to show how small that is, you can see the actual pin down there that we're looking at the head of. What's the old phrase? Is a rich man's chances of getting into heaven are the same as a camel passing through a needle's eye. Well, here we actually have 9 camels passing through a needle's eye, so those are actually some good chances there. Let's see if we can peek in there and see those camels. Oh, they're pretty small. You still barely see them there. Those teeny tiny camels in the needle's eye. So it is Willard Wiggin who is the sculptor here, and it says he has to keep a very steady hand in order to create these sculptures. So we're going to practice having a steady hand here, even though I am terrible at these because I have a very unsteady hand. But we're going to try to kind of thread the needle here by having this loop go through this. There we go. I didn't get very far. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. There's the tiniest house there. See if we can see the tiny needle down there. To look through this telescope here. Let's give it a little light. There you go. See the house there, built on a pin. Who could possibly live in a house that small? The photo up here, as we can see, we can fit in the eye of a needle here. This giant fly over here, thread through the needle. It's a vending machine here where you can buy some toys, or the smallest version of toys. The world's smallest Magic 8 Ball, world's smallest Rock'em Sock'em Robots, world's smallest Stretch Armstrong. Oh man, I'd love to play a round of the world's smallest Monopoly. Hopefully we don't lose any of the pieces. Oh, here we go, heading into the final room here. And the big reveal, because there we have one of the world's largest ball of twine. Actually, this is the ball of twine that is recognized by Guinness World Records as the world's largest ball of twine. It's not without its controversy, but it definitely is a massive ball of twine. I've seen two of the other largest balls of twine. The one in Kansas City is the largest ball of sisal twine, and that means that it's actually the traditional twine. This is made out of plastic twine, so some feel this shouldn't count. And then the one in Darwin, Minnesota, which is the largest twine ball made by one man. But you know what? I think they all deserve their own place in ball of twine history. And there we have the proclamation there. It's signed by the mayor of Branson, Missouri, declaring November 10th, 1993 as world's largest ball of twine day. See the ball of twine, whole building is built around it. You see the cracks there. So now that I'm seeing this and tying everything together, I'm thinking that the theme of the building is not an earthquake has damaged the building, but like the world's largest ball of twine has been dropped down through the building, crushing it and causing the damage. But some other interesting things in this room, including this bedpan, guitar. There's a purse there made out of cigarette wrappers. But I noticed this, they don't actually have an artifact attached to it, but there is the Button King of Bishopville, South Carolina, Dalton Stevens. He passed away some time ago. I actually had a chance to meet him. He covered his car and all his clothes and his guitar with buttons. I need to look in to see whatever happened to the Button Museum after he passed away. There's a recycled parts minion. Let's see if this button here. Oh, okay, you gotta hold the button down, and then the recycled parts minion will rotate. Oh, there he goes. See his minion face there. He's got the big minion eye and the minion smile, and he's holding the bucket of bolts. Also feel this is pretty impressive. Right here in front of the ball of twine, we have this wishbone collection. All these wishbones. Just imagine if you could get a hold of all these wishbones. Imagine all the wishes you could make. You could become infinitely powerful with all the wishes these would grant. So what's this here? Hand-painted monkey and rabbit skeletons. So that's the monkey there. Oh, he's painted with, looks like various world leaders on a skeleton. And that must be a really tiny rabbit there. Some genuine dressed fleas. Good look in there. A lot of very tiny things in this museum, but yeah, there are some fleas. Oh, dressed in human clothes there. Can you see them? And I love the little scene they have in here. It's the rodent card party. See some weasels and a squirrel playing a game of cards there. Some loud noises, laughing coming from this hallway. So here are the glowing faces of the Ripley's characters that we've seen throughout the museum. And then we have the vortex tunnel. Someday, when I have the time, I'm gonna go back through all my videos and count the number of vortex tunnels that I've been through. Now we exit through the gift shop. Feel like I'm seeing this guy more and more these days. There is the Mothman by Squishable. I think Squishable actually makes a Flatwoods monster now as well. See the two-headed animal bobbleheads there. Got the cat, the parrot there. Got a one-eyed dog. I do have this one, the two-headed calf bobblehead. There's a two-headed snake there as well. Oh, I like the heads bobble independently of one another. Look at this. We got axolotls, which further proves my theory that kids love axolotls. Oh, I haven't seen these before. We have mini building blocks of some of the Ripley's characters. Look at that. You got a building block, Robert Wadlow there. That's a Tibetan skull, the one-eyed dog, and the one-eyed parrot. Here is the Branson edition of Monopoly. Trying to see what's all on here. Of course, we got Ripley's on here. We got the Ferris wheel. Looks like the Silver Dollar City, some roller coasters, and then the Branson Water Tower. And as we leave the gift shop, headed back here into the lobby, we have this giant tape ball. Look at this. See over here, it says this was built by children at a community center in Louisville, Kentucky. It weighs 2,158 pounds. Largest tape ball in the Ripley's collection. So it says you can be a part of Ripley's history. We can actually add to the tape ball here. So yeah, let's contribute to the tape ball. All right, let's add some green tape here. We'll tear that off. Oh, try to get that off there. I might need to put the camera down. All right, we will leave our mark here on the tape ball. Someone will probably come tomorrow and cover this up. But for a brief time, I'll have my name displayed on the tape ball. Almost ran out of room there. All right, you look right there. You can see where I signed it. Of course, people will add tape every day as it gets bigger and bigger. And maybe someday I can come back and visit it, and it will be as big as the twine ball.
And wacky interactives. Experience the amazing...
So while we were in the building, night has fallen. You can see there are Christmas lights illuminated there. Santa Hulk posing in front of the door. Thank you for joining me here today at Ripley's, believe it or not, here in Branson, Missouri. Well, again, love to stop by the Ripley's, see what's new, see what they've changed, and a lot of new stuff here at this particular Ripley's. So thank you so much. If you like these videos, please subscribe. I travel around the country, film roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, and other fun stuff. If you'd like to help contribute to the channel, consider contributing to Patreon. $3 or more gets you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also selling enamel pins in the Etsy shop and doing personalized messages on Cameo. If you're interested in any of that, check the description of this video, and all those things help keep this train on the track, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.